no peace for Air Peace. Is that the message Senator Adams Oshiomhole is sending to Air Peace, or he sent to Air Peace? What is the senator saying? This same senator who was the former president of Nigerian Labour Congress and a former governor of Edo State and the current chairman of the Senate Committee on Interior from Edo North. He is denying disrupting the operations of Air Peace. He said it is just an allegation, and is also trying to give his side of the story. Welcome to If You Ask Jimmy. I'll see you in a second. Guys, it happened on just yesterday. Not on just yesterday, it happened yesterday. By the way, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please help my channel. Please subscribe. Click that subscribe button, and also like this video, so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first to get them. And also help my channel to grow. Share this video, and let's have this conversation to make a better society. Now, what happened between Air Peace and Senator Adams Oshiomhole? Well, people in society will say distinguished senator. I don't know whether it's still we should be calling them distinguished senator or distinguished senator or extinguished senator. It's only in Nigeria that you can't even call people just by, okay, Senator this, Mr. Governor, this and that. Even when they finish their names, they will put MFROF, RGCON, MTN, PDP, APC. It's always about, one acronym or the other. We love titles a lot in Nigeria. Now, this issue happened between Senator Adams Oshiomhole, who is an influential man in Nigeria by all means, and between him and an airline, and this airline happens to enjoy a lot of goodwill in Nigeria, right? Because the airline is claiming, according to the statement that they issued, that Oshiomhole disrupted their operations. Why? Because he missed a flight. That is according to Air Peace. He said that Oshiomhole reported late for his flight P47120, which was scheduled to depart Abuja at 6:30 a.m. That was on just on the 11th, and then that flight was supposed to leave at 6:30 a.m. That's according to them. And they said Oshiomhole story is different. That, he even displayed documented evidence and videos. He said that on Tuesday, that is June 10th, 2025, he arrived at the airport at 6:10 p.m. and 40 minutes later at 6:50 p.m. For another flight, but he was denied a boarding pass, even though he had met the airline's check-in deadline of 30 minutes before departure. Let me say it in his own words. He said, yesterday I got to the airport 40 minutes ahead. My luggage was already checked in, but they told me they had stopped issuing boarding passes. Meanwhile, I saw others arriving after me who were allowed to board. According to the former Edo State governor, despite holding business class ticket for himself and an aide who was allowed to board, he was turned back. So it looks as if he feels that there's something personal there, because why would they allow some people to go and he's being held back? So he continued to lament. He said what they did is an arbitrary application of airline tickets policies that left him with a hotel bill of 1.5 million. That is his grievances, or grievance. He has to accommodate hotel bill of 1.5 million, and he has 2 stranded Ghanaian passengers with him who also said they were attempting to fly Air Peace the following morning. He arrived at 6 a.m. for a 6:30 a.m. flight, and he had already checked in online the previous night by 9 p.m. And he said, I got there about 5 minutes past 6. They told me the counter was closed. I told them, no, I've already checked in. I showed them the evidence of my online check-in. Even before then, they asked if I had checked in. I told them yes, and I had no luggage. They looked at it, but they still said the gate had been closed. And he said they were allowing other people in. And that was where the brouhaha started. Okay, he explained a lot of things, and he denied flat that everything he did, which was caught on CCTV camera. This is a picture of him standing on the counter. An elder. I think the man will be probably in his, I think in the 70s. He looks very strong, although for his age, and he has been a fighter, a great part of his life. But what is Air Peace saying? Air Peace also issued their own statement and said that everything that Oshiomhole did was actually, a disruption of their operations, and it's not expected of somebody of his character. Now, when you look at everything that happened there, Oshiomhole seems to have a grudge, and now Air Peace, which enjoys a lot of goodwill in Nigeria, is coming up with their own explanation as well. They said that the senator arrived late for his flight, and they are strict with their on-time departure policy, and that the boarding had already closed. And they said this policy applies to all passengers, and they alleged that Oshiomole's behavior was unruly and disruptive, even though they did not mention his name. And they said it caused a delay in their own operations, and they condemned his actions, and they are stating that this action is unbecoming and disruptive to fellow passengers and their personnel. And one official of the airline said that Oshiomhole tried to disrupt their operation, instigated followers, blocked departure gates, and even climbed onto a baggage conveyor belt. More like throwing tantrums, more like giving them a showdown, more like that activist, more like that, fighter personnel of Oshiomhole. Right. Simple. Oshiomhole gave it to them in action that no peace for Air Peace. You see, my own take on this issue is that two wrongs don't make a right. Why? Because Oshiomhole incidentally is currently the Senate committee chairman on interior. It's not everything that can be sorted by activism. Some things, he's a legislator. So if something is not going right and everybody has been crying, you see sometimes until VIP people, when they are driving, things happen to them. Maybe somebody loses their family or loved ones, or a friend or a big man dies on the road. Nobody talks about the bad condition of the road. If they don't take light in Aso Rock, they don't take light in the government house. Nobody cares about Nigerians, running on gen or not having electricity to do their operations and to power their life and to, do their businesses, until something happens to someone that is in public glare or a VIP. Most times they don't take the rest of the public serious. My take on this issue is that, of course, he has a right as a passenger to fight, but everywhere in the world there are rules surrounding airlines, and whenever people are unruly on flights, no matter the case, they are usually banned. I've forgotten what they call it. There's a flight ban because they see them as flight risk, and in different parts of the world. Anyway, the flight has not taken off. This is not in flight. Does Oshiomhole have a right to protest? Yes. But did he have to go about it the way he did? No. I think he could have done it differently, because most of the people that fight for one particular cause in life, people that become advocates and have NGOs and they have life causes that they stand for, usually it happens because of their experience or their family members' experience. Maybe people who are advocates cancer or for heart disease or for one thing or the other, or maybe for against police brutality. It happens after some of them have suffered grief, or they have suffered personal losses, or it has happened to family members or people that are close to them. And that's how they become activists, and they fight that battle with a passion because it hits home, is something they can fully relate with. What happened to Oshiomhole could have been the beginning of a campaign, because at the Senate and our legislations, because to be candid, a lot of people from time to time, it's Oshiomhole now, everybody is shouting. But a lot of people from time to time complain about all these flight cancellations. This is not a flight cancellation. This is just like arriving late at the departure gate. And now, look at it. It is Oshiomole's words against Air Peace words. whose report are you going to believe? And this is real, this is practical. He is showing evidences, and the airline themselves, honestly, I don't know who to believe, because the airline has disappointed people in a lot of ways and nobody likes it. The only thing that is of concern here is that the senator, there's an African proverb that says, when children behave like children, elders will behave like elders. Like elders don't conduct themselves like kids. Oshiomole may not see himself as, or whatever he did, as condescending of his personality and his office, because he's a senator, for crying out loud. And what people like him should be doing is to make society better. And I don't know, everybody's saying it's not a working country, and that's why we are having this kind of things. Things happen everywhere in the world, especially this flight is not a Nigerian thing alone. And people feel it's a thing of shame for him to have gone to that level. And not many people like him anyway. He was a union man, he's a unionist, and he will not take nonsense. This is a guy that faced the military, he has fought a lot of battles. The younger generation may not know him, but he has been a fighter all his life. But it's good to choose one's battle. It's because now, I think when you look at the way the airlines operate and how they disappoint people, his actions might, it might be justified to be angry. His reaction might be excused, but not the action. He has a right to protest, but not in the way he did, because he has gotten beyond that basic level of street fighting and government fighting. All right, if he came early, he's showing evidence, it means there's something wrong with the operation. These airlines can be a pain in the butt sometimes on the backside. They can really irritate people, honestly. But the truth is that whatever is source for good is source for gander. These airlines should get their act together. People believe some people are even saying Air Peace is the most useless flight. They have a lot of cancellations, a lot of disturbances. I think we have to be fair here. Alex Onyema, the chairman of Air Peace, is a very, very good man, philanthropist when it comes, and is a Nigerian to heart. And because of that, he has won a lot of the heart of Nigerians, and that's why a lot of people patronize him. And then he's one person that is still keeping, his operation is keeping the flight tickets down in Nigeria on our internal and international routes. But at the same time, service is service. And even though Oshiomole's conduct is seen as being disgraceful, Air Peace also is fond of rescheduling flights, and people that have been flying, instead of just condemning Oshiomole's act, what he did could have been done different. I think he could have brought it in the form of legislation. But the truth is that Air Peace sucks. People know that Air Peace does what they do suck. And and that's just it. It's Oshiomole's turn today, but action and reaction, they say, are equal and opposite. I think this one is not a reaction. It's like he overreacted. Yes, he could use his influence, throw his weight around, and make sure that the situation is corrected, not just for him, but for all Nigerians. Guys, I don't want this video to be too long. This is a very key issue, it's a very fundamental issue in Nigeria, and I hope that a lesson is learned here, and this could be a turning call. Senator Adams Oshiomhole, former governor, he still has the opportunity to turn things around and to leverage this situation in order to, cause the legislation to be introduced in the upper and the lower house, so that the operations of airlines can even be further, regulated in such a way that it will be a win-win for everybody. This issue should not go down just like a skit or just like for entertainment. It should translate to better service from Air Peace and all airlines in Nigeria. It's not only an Air Peace thing, and also we expect responsible behavior from people who are supposed to be the custodians of law and order in our society. Thank you for watching. And what do you think? Whose fault is it? Is it Oshiomole's fault? Is it Air Peace fault? Are they both at fault? What is the lessons learned here, and what is the benefit that can come out of this? What should we be doing at this time as a people? Let me know in your comments. Put your views in the comment section, and please, before you end this video, click that subscribe button. Help me to grow this channel. I'm on a journey to 1,000 subscribers first, and I hope you and I will do it together. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.